Imagine if you can, 30 years ago, a child walks up to his parents and asks the parents, Mom, Dad, what future does this great nation hold for me? The father turns and says to the son, 30 years from now, son, you're going to be unemployed. You're going to be desperately seeking work, living off government handouts, and told that socialist ideology that everyone is equal and no one has to work and everyone gets a fair share is the right way. Now I know this strikes a nerve with some of the parents out there that are listeners, and it strikes a nerve with those out there that are liberal, and I apologize. I wish I could turn around and say, hey, we're all supposed to be equal, and but I can't. I'm just here to tell you the truth on how I feel. I'm here to open your eyes to the truth that the Founding Fathers wanted in each of us and the potential that each of the Founding Fathers saw in each of us. To quote Thomas Jefferson in his inaugural speech, all too will bear in mind this sacred principle, that though the will of the majority is in all cases to prevail, the will too must be rightful and of sacred principle. That though the will of the majority can prevail, the will must be reasonable. That the minority possess their equal rights, which equal law must protect, and to violate this would be oppression. That is how I feel about socialism. I feel that it's an oppressive in nature, and it defies what this union stands for. These words, I think, are important meaning now. If you look at the current socialist ideology that is being spread throughout the United States. The sacred principle, in my opinion, is that we are a country that is meant for greater, and look what we've become. The founding principle of the Constitution is a prime example. By this, when you look at the beginning words of the speech itself, we the people of the United States, and in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, and provide the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Okay, so first things first. We the people. It's simple. It means we are members of a nation which back then represented 13 colonies under the rule of the British Empire. Today, this still reflects the people of this nation from coast to coast. It is the people of this nation which make this nation a nation. If you are liberal, conservative, straight, gay, Christian, Muslim, etc., we are people that make this nation great. There is no concept of a collective like that in communism or socialism. This refers to those who wish to pursue a greatness and independence from the chains of oppression which exist in this generation in any form, whether it be the gay agenda or the Roe versus Wade, etc. Now, we move into in order to form a more perfect union. This is simple and should be self-evident. It means to try and strive for perfection. The difference brings about a union that isn't perfect. The Founding Fathers didn't want perfect. After all, in 200 years of existence, the concept of American democracy was a brand new thing. The next part of this is the establishment of justice, domestic tranquility. Establishment of justice, plain and simple. Equal and fair justice to those who break laws or are persecuted unjustly. We live in a country where if a man breaks into your house, threatens your family and belongings, and hurts himself in the process, he can sue you for damages done to him. Never mind the fact that this man broke the law, endangered not only your property and your family, but he can get away with it. Fair and equal justice is all that this nation was built on. The next is domestic tranquility. This goes hand in hand with justice. Let's look at the word tranquility. It means simply this: a quality or state of being tranquil. Calmness, peacefulness, quiet, and serenity. This means that a state of calmliness domestically, which trickles down from the federal government to the state and municipal levels, and into the very homes of our houses of every American here. Next we go into this: to provide for the common defense and promote the general welfare and to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. This by far is the easiest of the opening lines of the Constitution. This allows us to call on concepts like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and defending against both threats, both foreign and domestic. Now, this also talks about general welfare. Now, I'm not saying, oh, welfare for everyone and free handouts. I live in California where the welfare and unemployment lines have doubled, almost tripled in this year alone. No one wants to work anymore, or the ones that do want to work find out that they make more on unemployment than they do working. Let's recap on the defending ideology, shall we? Life. Simple. It's the right to live. Liberty. The freedom to be free to make decisions that affect your life. The pursuit of happiness. The ability to go out and try and make yourself happy. This gets confused with my generation a lot. A lot of people in my generation think that the government has to make them happy. Everyone has to be made happy. Unfortunately, the government's job is to make sure you have the ability to do so and prevent others from unjustly blocking your happiness. This speech may have offended those listening, and there are those out there that probably would like to see me strung up for what I've just said. And you know what? It's your God-given right. There are those out there that support me and understand the words I'm saying and the frustration that's coming across, and why I'm trying to point out to you that following socialist ideology is wrong. This is for those that walk the middle path. This is a light for those who stand in the gray, who do not understand what the big fuss is about. We are a nation founded on principles,